We're live. It's live. I'm by myself. How's everyone doing? Let's see who's here. Um, what's up? Hello, Paul. Hello, Chris. Um, I don't know the specifics, but I'm gonna assume they're using the same mastering from the Verve one. So it's just clear vinyl. That's it. Um, hello, Disco Matt, Nick. I've been cleaning records and grading assignments, and I got a kink in my back, so I don't know how long I'll go. See if someone will come up and join me, but I do have some records to show, and then after the stream, I'm gonna do a preview of the auction I'm doing on Saturday, and I have a lot of records. I have a ton of records. What's up, AZ Mick? How you doing? Yeah. See how many people are in here. We got 24. See how it goes. Hello. If anyone's interested in joining me, let me know and I'll privately message you a link to come up. Until then, I'm moving around all these records. I have records ready to show for my preview. But I'll start showing some stuff I picked up since last week. Picked up a lot of stuff I've cleaned and put into the auction, but these are stuff I'm keeping for myself. So I found an upgrade copy of this Gatto Barbieri quintet on the ESP disc. I found the one I had before I'm putting in the auction, but there were 3 pressings in 1967. I believe this is an OG. The cover is in beautiful condition. This is free. He's playing free jazz. It's free jazzy, but it's not slapping you in the face. But it has a deep groove, and let me take this out. Deep groove, and on that original ESP disc label with the, him from the cover. Let me see. Some of these were pressed at Pastelite, but this does not have a P in the dead box. I don't think any of them did, because this is 1969 pressing. So, but it's good. The one I have is the change label where it has ESP in kind of purple. That's gonna be in the auction. Okay. So this was a nice pickup to find the covers in killer shape. Oh wait, here's what else is in it. I think there's an order form in it. No, not an order form. Sometimes they have like a ESP disc order form inside, but I thought this might have had it, but no. I'm confused. But a great record. I think it is. All right. So the next record that I found, I went to an event on Sunday in the Orange County, Los Angeles Audio Society, and there was someone selling records. I picked up a few, and I've had this come into a couple times. I've never bought it. It used to not go for much money. I think it's creeping up. So there's a green label, and this sounds really nice. And it's mostly him playing hard, not totally free, but it's good. A couple different lineups, and I think it came out. It was released like the year he passed away. I'm pretty sure. Who else is on this? This is not a mono. This is stereo. Stereo. The ESP disc is, I think it's stereo. Stereo. That's stereo. I don't know if it came out as mono, but this has the old style cover. And there's two different lineups. On side one, it's Coltrane, McCoy Tyner, Jimmy Garrison, Donald Garrett, Pharoah Sanders, Elvin Jones, Frank Butler, and Juno Lewis on vocals and percussion. And then the side two is just his regular quintet with Tyner, Garrison, and Jones. So it's, I think all Coltrane is good. If you like him, you should get everything. Okay. All right. I'll put that back in. So I went to an estate sale last Saturday, and I've been showing some of the stuff I found because it was kind of crazy. So in the listing for the estate sale, what's up, people? So in listing in the estate sale, let's do that. Okay, because I don't have time for all that. All right. So in the listing of the estate sale said this old lady, she was married to an actor, blah, blah, blah. It was in the Pacific Palisades. She loved driving her Porsche, which was part of the estate sale, a brown Porsche, and listening to her jazz. And they said an extensive collection. So I went, and I'm not about getting up early. Typically in estate sales now, they make the address known that morning, and then you can show up and put your name on a list as early as like 6 or 6:30, and then leave and come back. I'm not doing that. So I showed up about an hour before, and I ended up being 60th on the list, but somehow people didn't show up, and I was able to get in within 20 minutes, and no one was there really for the records. And it wasn't an extensive jazz collection. They put what they thought were the higher priced records at the bottom and downstairs, and then they had another set upstairs which were $12 each. So I went to them. They had a lot of miles. The records weren't in the best condition, and they were priced very high. So I'll show the records. I went upstairs. They had some classical. Even there was luckily a window with light, and I saw they weren't in the best condition. But one I picked up, and this is pretty VG, is this Helen Merrill that Chad reissued a couple years ago. But OGs of this record go for upwards of over $300. This is not the. I think I talked to the in-group. He says there's a gray label, but I looked on Discogs, and this is an OG mono. It even has the original inner sleeve, and this is even the cover's in really nice condition. The record sound, the music plays nice and loud, but you can hear some noise. I think in this condition, this might be a $60 or $70 record that I probably will sell because I have the Chad reissue, which is nice. But I found this once before at a thrift store in really crummy condition, and it's still sold for $50. So even in crummy condition, people want this record. So it was a good find. This was $12. So, and then they had the Jimmy Giuffre clarinet. This is Jimmy Giuffre in various different lineups, from solo to. It's a really good record on Atlantic. This is in really nice condition. It's really. I don't think these Black Label Atlantics sound fantastic, and even when they look very clean, they have some noise to them. But this cover is in excellent condition, and I have another copy. I haven't looked. This sounds pretty good, and I'll Frankenstein together a pretty good one if I can figure it out. But I love Jimmy Giuffre. Even in early in the 50s, he was very avant-garde. Who else is he playing on here with? I'm sorry, I'm not highlighting a lot of people's comments. But this is him solo, and then him and Jimmy Rowles, the guitar player. Oh wait, he's playing the Celeste. Buddy Collette, Bud Shank, Shelly Manne, all different types of lineups, but it's really good. Very good. All right, so now, sorry, knocked my computer. So now the good stuff. This is what was downstairs. There was a lot of good stuff, but the prices were high. So what I was able to do, I'll be honest with you, the pricing. So this Oleo was priced at $160, $160. And this record does go in really nice condition for over $300. It could go on up. I think I saw one on eBay for more than that. The cover is really nice. There is some browning and stains, but it's not falling apart. It's in very good condition. So what was funny is I took these records outside in the sunlight, and it really displays all the flaws in the vinyl. And these are OG mint monos with RVG and the dead wax. Beautiful. I mean, the labels are like beautiful. No cracking or nothing. So I took the guy running the estate sale outside and I said, look at these. See all these flaws? And he was like, wow, I need to take pictures of that. And here's a tip for you guys. When you're taking pictures of vinyl and you want to capture any issues with the vinyl, don't use your photo. Use video and take a still from the video. The video will pick up a lot of the flaws in the vinyl. And if you don't want to show flaws, take a photo. So he looked at it and said, wow. Then, so this was at 160. So then, and I'm not selling these, I'm keeping these. Then, believe it or not, this is the most expensive record I've ever, I think I've maybe ever come across. This For Lady, it has been pressed a few times. There's an OJC, but it initially, this was the only pressing of it in 1957. This cover is in beautiful shape. There's one stain on the back. And again, the vinyl, the label is beautiful. But I showed him this in the sunlight, and you could see lines and stuff. So he made a deal for all the records I bought for $160 to get all of them. This was priced at $50, by the way. And I think the most it's ever sold for on Discogs is over 800, maybe 1,000. Someone's trying to sell this on eBay for 2,000. So I got these all for like $160. I'm very happy. And so I took them home, cleaned them, and they sound VG plus. Even with the flaws you could see in highlight, these play amazing. Beautiful. I'm so happy I found these. So adds to my collection. No selling. No selling. Okay. I have two more to show that I picked up. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a mono card. I was supposed they would sound better, but actually, I'll be honest with you. This sounds good. This was recorded better, I think. This sounds excellent. So the music plays beautifully, and you really don't hear on both of these any noise. Maybe when it's silent a little, but they play awesome. So I'm very happy. And then, so that was from the estate sale. This I found out shopping, and it didn't have a cover. But I did the vinyl. It's another Blues Groove with it's a Tiny Grimes, who's a guitar player, with Coleman Hawkins. This sounds excellent. There are marks on it, but it still sounds very good. So I found this too. So all these nice OG prestige monos. It was nice to pick these up this week. Okay, so here's the last thing I'll show that I picked up yesterday. I picked this up yesterday. I went to a store I don't really go to often, but I found this 1981 British reissued The Dial. I believe Felipe has this of Charlie Parker, 3 album. It's I think the initial album he did on Dial and 2 records of other takes. I have not listened to it yet, but these records look unplayed. They're in mint condition. Now this set's supposed to be numbered, but then there's only one listing for it on Discogs. So I don't know if this was a promo, but one. It doesn't say that it was promo, but there's supposed to be a number on the other side under here, and there's no number. There's no number on this. It's like printed. So, but it's a really nice set. They do recreations. I don't know if this is the original cover. I'm guessing the original artwork and stuff. But the records are very minty, very minty. There's nothing on them. They look unplayed. So here's the company that did it. Spotlight. That did the reissue. So nice to find these. I've been known to say the Charlie Parker recordings are not the best. So for me, I don't enjoy listening to them, but I'm giving them a chance. I was able to find this at a good price, so I'm happy with that. I'm very happy. There you go. Those are the records I picked up this week. So now I can look at your jealousy. Dang, I assume that's about the records. Eddie's saying hairline marks on the Prestige OGs usually are not audible. It's a little, but these play excellent. Very happy. Rex is saying relaxing with Miles, those are decent. I don't think I actually Jazz Bomb Chris has flattened a copy of Bags Groove, an old OG mono copy. So we'll see how well he was able to do with that. He's mailed it back to me. So yeah, I don't think Mike has that. Felipe has that box. I think Mike might have OG dial pressings. I mean, those records after I ultrasonic them sound great. What's up, Bobby? Yeah, come here to kill time. Thank you. What's up? And you're saying what's up to AZ Mick. I don't know if anyone's messaged me about. If anyone wants to come up again, please message me. Okay, then you can come on up. No one. I guess everyone's busy tonight, and no one wants to hang out on the live stream, which I don't usually do it on Thursday anyway. I just had a holiday party to go to yesterday, so it wasn't free. Okay, yeah. So after 2 years of owning my Humming Guru, and on average cleaning 10 records a day on it, the motor that turns the record gave out. And I have to say, I had to deal with Humming Guru once before, but it was a clogging issue that they sent me instructions and I cleaned it and it worked fine. Then when I emailed them with the issue, they again sent you really clear instructions with pictures on how to go about maybe to see if you can fix the issue with the spinning. And I couldn't. So obviously 2 years owning it, my warranty was out on the Humming Guru, but they were cool. They said your warranty's out, but we're going to send you this piece, this gearbox with instructions and stuff, but you have to pay for it. And it was $25 with shipping and everything, $26. So they're mailing me this new piece. And from watching other people that had to go through it, they send very clear instructions on how you can replace stuff. So I'm feeling very confident that when I get that gearbox and then swap it out, that it'll go back to running fine, because the ultrasonic and the air blowing on it still work fine. But in the meantime, Jim Record Collector News has lent me his Humming Guru so I can finish cleaning records for the auction on Saturday. So good experience with Humming Guru. I have to say they have great customer service. So it's always nice when a company knows when they make a product and they specifically know that people might have issues and they already have ready to go instructions on how to deal with their stuff. Oh, okay. So here. Yeah, you can replace the parts. Yeah. Okay, so I replaced the gearbox, very easy. Hardest part for me was getting the cover off, which here's so I had to do it to clean out the tubes inside. The screws are underneath the legs, which have a piece on there. Unfortunately, when you take that piece off, it's hard to put the piece back on, which is fine. It's like a little kind of rubber part, just I guess so you don't scuff up whatever you put it on. But those screws, just put a screwdriver and take out the long screws from the bottom, and that way you have access to the parts. That's what I've done before. So, but you did it, so I'm feeling even more confident. Yes. 10 records a day. Yeah, that machine is good. It's a workhorse. I think if you take care of it, swap out the water when it gets dirty, wipe it off after each use, you know, that's good. You're doing a good job. So, um, but after 3 months, but can't fault their customer service. Yeah. I don't know. Has anyone bought the newer Humming Guru, which is twice the price? Almost twice the price? Has anyone gotten that one? I wonder if people are not having issues with that. I'm sure they've upgraded it and learned what wasn't right with the first one. Mm. If you're buying a degritter, you're not worried. That thing is $3,000, man. I've used people's degritters. Those things are beautiful. Yeah, well, I'm sure when they upgraded with the new one, they made a better motor. So they learned from what the issues they might be having with the initial machine. But I have to say, two other companies have tried to get into this game and have failed. You know, with like I tried to participate in one on crowdsourcing, and it was a scam, or they didn't know what they got into with manufacturing of it. So, um, yeah, I'm telling you, there's something to it. If you use it a lot, you're not going to have issues. What's up? Dylan's here. The the KL cleaning, is that the one? The Claudia, is that what you're talking about? Dylan, man, those records you got from I'm from DC, so I'm going back there in about 2 weeks for the holiday, for Christmas and New Year's. So wish I would have known about that when I was there. Well, I changed the water after about 10 records, I think. Here's a good tip for anyone who owns a Humming Guru. Yeah, the KL audio. Well, yeah, but you that thing can bring records back to life. I'm just a small time guy. Okay, so here's a good tip for the Humming Guru. What's up, Clem? So I went to Amazon and bought aquarium filter, like a long sheet, and I just cut. Um, I don't want to leave the stream, but I have a bag full of these cut pieces of aquarium filter, kind of like in that length. They're probably like that thick, and all I do is fold them up and put them in the filter holder, and those do the trick. Instead of buying filters and accessories from Humming Guru, I think I paid $8 for a long sheet of aquarium filter, white, and that cut up into like hundreds, like 100 filters. So that's a tip. Go to Amazon and buy aquarium filter and just cut the shape you need for the Humming Guru. So yeah, I use distilled water. The way I've formulated it is I have a little spray bottle with some alcohol, and I have a big jug with a few drops of a surfactant in a jug. I put a few drops of that, just watered down version, into the spray bottle. I spray and wipe off the record and clean it, and then clean it in the Humming Guru with distilled water. And that seems to do the trick for all my records. If I have to do a second cleaning, I do it, but that pretty much works. Yes, we'll talk jazz. Loki has a jazz album coming out next year, so we've officially talked jazz. You know, I'm hanging out with my family, Roberto. I'm not taking the train up to New York, especially around Christmas time. It's a madhouse there. Um, what's the Nova, Joe? I don't know the Nova. Hey, look, you use what works for you. I I don't think I feel like I preach and browbeat people on what they should do. If the spin clean works for you, then more power. You know. Um. Oh, you're gonna enjoy it. I think that's the best part. That's the number one purchase of the year for me. This Bard Lancaster box. I think you're gonna enjoy it. It's so good. The Nova, the new one. That's like $750. I don't know anyone who's bought it. So you're wrong, John. Your jazz flute is fine. It's fine. You're trying to be funny. How are you doing, John? How's your health? How are you? Have you checked out anything on the Silk Heart label? That I think I picked up Gale, Charles Gale. That's the only record. I found that on Record Store Day at Amoeba. They had a copy of that record. It's very hard to find. So that's the only one on the Silk Heart, that Charles Gale trio. And it's excellent. So that's the only record I have on there. Well, yeah. You also you can it's like one of those infomercial products. But I've never had a spin clean. But to be perfectly honest, my first setup to clean records was a makeshift. The guy who had that contraption that hooked up to vacuum, a wet dry vacuum, I made my own. I bought a spot cleaner. I bought a Bissell spot cleaner for $50. I had already had it. So all I did was buy an extra attachment on Amazon. I cut off all the bristles. I took what do you call it? Um like I forget the my mind's freezing, but I cut out like begins with an F. So fabric. It's a sort of thick fabric. I put it on where the bristles were, and I bought a Lazy Susan, like the instructions they give you through that air vacuum device, and I built that, and I put the record on, and I had a certain brush that didn't affect the record, and I would scrub it with a solution, then spray water on it and vacuum it off. That was my first setup to clean records, and it worked pretty good. Then I went and purchased one of those standardized ultrasonic machines that came with an add-on that spun with a motor and spun the record. And I liked that one too. It was like $60, and I used that for a year to clean records ultrasonically. But the problem with that is you had to fill it up with water, and you were just using way too much water. You know, it was silly. So then when the Humming Guru came around, it was a no-brainer for me. But I believe this hobby's so good when you just progress with everything about it. You progress in the quality of records you buy, you progress with your audio equipment, and you progress with your cleaning setup. Um, I go to Smart and Final and I'm able to buy a gallon of distilled water for $1. So I don't know where you're getting it from. Yeah, I don't know if you live in the dystopian future where water is traded as a commodity. Baggy. All right. I think it's a no-brainer. It's, it pays for itself. I mean, this is my saying, whether it's true or not. You could take a VG record, at least a VG sounding record, and put it through the Humming Guru, and it would probably sound VG plus. That's the way. That's how good it is to me. So I like going to record stores that deem a record is a VG and they price it that way, and I like buying it and taking it home and cleaning it, and it coming out better. That's a lot of satisfaction in that. Yes, the world is turning into Dune. Decibel, I think. Here's the problem with DC. There's probably a lot of good stores there, but if you're taking public transportation, you got to take a train and walk to a bus and then walk to the store. And they're not all near each other. So the Decibel one is right off a metro stop. So that was an easy one to get to. Okay. What are you doing with the emoji? What are you talking about? Yes. I purposely did it so you have something to complain about. He bought records for me in a classical auction, and I misput one of the wrong record in the sleeve of his. So you know he's going to get? He's going to get both records. So he wins. He wins. Paul, I went to that Psalm place, and again, I'm a big believer. A record store is only as good as the last collection they bought. I went to that Psalm place, and they didn't have any good stuff, and I found their prices to be a bit high. But right around the corner is that Joint Custody. That place is excellent. That's a good store. So, but that was one experience. Yeah, that place seems to have the prize stuff, but they're charging for that good stuff. The one I always go to my family in Northern Virginia, CD Trader in Falls Church. That's a good store. I need to investigate the Maryland stores. Maybe on this trip I will. But also when I go visit my mom up in Pennsylvania, all the antique stores and stuff along the way, you find good stuff at those places. Yes, he's here. He's bored shitless. He doesn't want to see you whining in the peanut gallery. Thank you, Chauncey. Look, here's the deal now. And as I move forward in the hobby and buying records and auctioning them, I'm trying to move away from finding a really good record, a really desirable record, and it not being in the best condition. I rather leave it. I'd rather pick up records that look very clean. That's my attitude now, because you end up being in a room in an apartment full of shitty records like I am now. CD Trader is good. Maybe their prices are a tad high, but you could always find good stuff in there, I think. And they have a good mix of new records too. Okay. Your entire province has one record. Well, here, John, that's what I feel like a lot of people that participate in my auction and get records, they don't have record stores near them. Price them low. I'm not going to price them low. Yeah, here's a good question for Dylan, I think. So Dylan picks up these very desirable records from that Voice of America, but they have writing on them, those numbers. I don't mind that. The records are very clean. It's about the music. But how do you price that? How do you factor that in? And do you call that a VG plus record because there's writing on the label? That's a question I have as someone who does this at a very amateurish level. But I'm very curious about that, Dylan, how you would price the records with writing on the label, even though they're insanely desirable. And here, so not to say that I'm not Dylan, but Dylan on my own. So I found a mono copy of this record, which is very desirable. But some moron decided to write all over the cover. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know if one of his kids got hold of it. I don't know if I repeat 181 as many times as it's written on here, will the devil pop up behind me? I don't know. But he also practiced signing his name on the back. He did it in 1970. He dated it. I don't know if this person went missing, but 181, it used to, I guess 281 used to be 282 was his number, but then he said, no, I'm a 181 guy. And he proved it by writing all over it. But the record is very nice. The label's not written on. It's very clean. I found this for cheap. And this goes for over 100, I think. I don't know if well, apparently this putz thought 181 needed to be written all over this record. So how am I pricing this? Because it has a new design. I found a lot of mono Blue Notes lately. So yes, $3. Put a few zeros on that, buddy. Put a few zeros on there. I'm not a big Blue Mitchell guy. So I know this guy is. I bought an external camera and it decides to do that. I priced them at a regular Discogs value because most of the discs are unplayed. It evens out. Plus, it's not some random scribble. Yeah, no, I get it. In the lore of the record, like I picked up a record that was owned by Donald Byrd. It came from Donald Byrd's collection, and they know this. Well, the person knows it because he just knew it. He knew where the collection came from. But the way Donald Byrd labeled his records, he had a system. So, no, I know the lore is really important. Are you willing to fork that over? I've picked up records from people's collection. By the way, that estate sale I went to, there were some celebrities there. So, I mean, the kind of stuff. It's always funny to me when I go to an estate sale where they do have records, but a majority of the people there are not there for records, and yeah, if people don't like it, they don't have to buy it. 100%. That's the way I feel. If you don't like it, don't buy it. But you're never going to find those records anywhere. The monos, you're not finding them. None. Zero. The celebrities that were there was the hot chick from One Tree Hill, Sophia Bush. She was there. And then that record producer guy who's engaged to what's the girl? So she's on the show People Die in the Building with Martin Short. What's her face? That he was there. What was these people are they have tons of money. So I think that there was a lot of some Hollywood stuff there, that collectible stuff, and obviously there were tons of women there for the clothing. There was a lot of nice clothing. Yeah, Selena Gomez, her boyfriend was there. I noticed him. But this was in an area of the Pacific Palisades are really where a lot of celebrities live in LA. And that's 10 or 15 minutes from me. But this was a part of the Palisades I'd never been to. It took 15 minutes to drive up from the PCH, from the ocean. It was like 3 miles. So that I've never been to this part. And so I went up there. And the thing that sucks by going to these rich people's, the cell service sucks. So you can't even look up the records on your phone to see if the prices were fair. Well, I give you permission to do so, Chauncey. You can go buy them. So, but I mean, it was cool. I walked out with 2 you could never find records for a steal. So, and a lot of times now the estate sales have kind of dried up with good stuff in the thrift store. So I don't go out as much to the estate sales as I used to, but occasionally, if the timing works and it's close by, I have no problem going. Yes. Yeah, your humor's impeccable, Roberto. Yeah, that guy, he's from DC too. So I wanted to go up to him and go, DC strong, man. But I don't think we're that lucky, Loki. So hopefully when I go back to DC, there'll be some Paul left records there that I can go find in the stores. I would like to go to that HR store. I'd never been there. And there's one store in Maryland that I want to go to. I haven't been there. So hopefully I'll have a good time. I don't know that, he does live streams. You can go ask him questions. He's here with as background noise while he prices records. So yes, so Joe, what I like to do if I can is I like collecting monos and stereo of Blue Notes. So I actually have a mono and a stereo of the sermon. My stereo has that stereo sticker on it. I like that record. I think it's great. All the Jimmy Smith records are pretty cheap to get, but that one is moderately priced. So good. So it's a good record. Yeah, Lee Morgan's on it. It's good. But I want to pick up the one that drops tomorrow from the Verve reissue series that Chad's doing for Impulse, whoever, for Universal. Is the Root Down. That comes out tomorrow. I want to get that. That's a jammy record. So I'd settle on that new reissue of the Root Down. I ran into one reissue, but I think that was a popular record. It was scuffy, and I just want a nice, clean copy of it. So I think I'm gonna pick that up. Yeah, that record jams. Hold on, I'm trying to click. Yeah, I think that's cool. I don't need an OG. Which John? Which Woody Shaw record did you get? I'm probably gonna try and go another 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna go do a live preview of what I'm have for the auction on Saturday. So if you could bear with me, I don't normally talk for an hour straight. I usually have people up here to interact with, but it's fun and talking with you guys through the chat. Yeah, it arrives tomorrow. I can't wait to get it. Yeah, all the jazz sounds the same. It sounds like this. This jazz sounds like that. That's how it all sounds to me. I've read about the place. Obviously, when I grew up in DC, I bought records, but the record stores there were like half head shops and stuff. So I'm gonna try and go there. I think I'm gonna go there. You know, Chris Thomas, who sometimes pops up here, there, lives there. I'm gonna try and meet up with him and hang out. But yeah, it's all you know, it's all made up. It's all not real. Hey, I have a question for Paul for Breakfast King. Are you still here, Breakfast King? Because I have a question that since you found a few of the records I want to try and get. Okay. Do you want to come up here or no? Do you want to show your face on the YouTube? What's up, Delphina? Hey, well, I'm going to tell a funny story. I told it on Rachel's stream, but while Paul's deciding if he wants to come up here. So I was with Delphina. I was with Vinyl. Okay. I'll ask my question in a second after I tell the story. All right. So I was with Delphina, Jim Record Collector News, and Vinyl Piper. We went to the Orange County Los Angeles Audio Association, their Christmas thing fundraiser. They were auctioning off 30 prizes. The most expensive was an amp for $15,000, and the society's a bunch of rich guys who collect audio equipment mostly, I think, and records. They honored Bill Schnei, who is an audio engineer, did it on Asia. They gave him an award. Michael Fremer was there, proceeding over everything. By the way, if everyone knows my Michael Fremer story, I met him once at a high-end audio place here in Santa Monica, and he was talking with me, and then he goes, "I have to throw my gum away," and just walked away. So I thought it'd be funny. I went out and bought a 3-pack of gum and put a bow on it, and I walked up to him and gave it, and he didn't fucking remember me or the whole gum thing. He just goes, "Oh, gum," and he took it and walked away. That's that dude. I don't think he knew it, but I thought it was funny. Okay, so we went to this thing, and you get raffle tickets. You spend money, and what happens? These rich guys buy hundreds of dollars worth of raffle tickets, and usually those are the ones that win. So we bought raffle tickets. We hung around for an extra 2.5 hours and won nothing. They had expensive audio equipment. They had high-end records. They had test pressings from Chad. Everything. We won nothing. But I went to my work holiday party last night, and I won a set of steak knives. I won knives. So I won something. You didn't hit on him. You know, you're taller than him. Okay, so Paul, you picked up 3 Andrew White records. Yes, correct, when you were in DC. So Andrew White is a jazz musician from DC who I believe put out his own records. Most of them were like live recordings, I think, right? And his records are like party, but they venture into like free jazz and all that stuff. So my question is, are they readily available because he's from DC? I think he went on to teach at like UDC, that he's from there. But I'm just curious, are they easy to find there? Because I really didn't think of looking for them in the last really 4 years that I've been into this. It's actually a high end. It's the one Oprah put on her list this year. That's the knives I got. They're German knives. The Germans make good things, So Paul, answer my question. You're making it, or you're repairing one? Because I have a tube amp and it's fucking awesome. Changes everything. Oh yeah, well, okay. CJ lives there. Is there an area to go to find them, or they just pop up? I'll be there in 2 weeks. So Not really sure. I found 3 at 2 stores. I've seen them before, but I don't shop in DC enough to know. I've seen few here, but I just didn't buy them. I didn't know. My knowledge of him was not strong. When you're from DC, you don't really hear about Andrew White, I guess, unless you're really into jazz. You hear about go-go music, like all those old go-go records, or punk music from DC. Okay. Last time I was there, I did not notice them because they all have the same cover. They all have those white covers. Um, yeah. Did you guys, Vinyl Me Please put out a Rare Essence record, I think a couple years ago. Did you get that, Paul? Trouble Funk, Rare Essence, Chuck Brown and the Soul Searchers, Icy Hot, all those. Where I went to high school, all the people listen to go-go music. Reg and the Boys. I actually, Paul, you know what? I think I still have it somewhere around here. I do have a Trouble Funk record somewhere around here without a cover. I'll put it in a pile for you. Oh, congratulations. Nice. You know what they used to have back in the day? They used to have rap versus go-go concerts at the Capitol Center. That was the arena the Bullets and the Capitals used to play at. They used to have those all the time. No, not that I remember. To me, there's probably less than a handful of Keith Jarrett records for me to worth having. Congratulations. They do suck. They can't get anyone to come. They had good players, Bradley Beal, but I've lived in LA for almost 30 years. I'm a Clippers fan, which that says what. But I'm still a DC Commander Skins, Capitals. I'm fans of those teams. Capitals are awesome this year. They're good every year, but they screw up at the end of the season. I did not know it was recorded there. I know there's a studio in Silver Spring that a lot of people record at. I do remember that. Hmm. Yes. Congratulations. Steak knives. Yes. Yes. They're the worst team right now. But hopefully, here's what happens. They're one of the 10 teams when they do the drawings and they pick number 9. They get drawn number 9. That's what's going to happen. Because I like the Clippers. I don't like teams that just win. They spend money and win. I like the Clippers. When I started following the Clippers, they had players you'd like to root for. Hey, some people do a good job of ripping off John Coltrane. Oh, there you go. Look, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, okay? I remember when the Bullets won the championship and they got in a bus and they drove around the whole city, the whole team, waving at people. And I used to work for the Bullets handing out the freebies at the arena because I grew up not far from the arena. So Wes Unseld, Elvin Hayes, Mitch Kupchak was a Bullet. I remember those days. But when you're from DC, I know it's changed. You're a Redskins fan. That was the team. Every other team was secondary. I'm old. I remember it. I was a kid when that happened. We were all happy. Because he's injured all the time. Kawhi. But they're playing pretty good despite that. I'm surprised how well Harden's playing. And then he got a bunch of nice. The guy, I'm upset because I went to Virginia Commonwealth University and Bones Highland is on the bench for the Clippers. He came into the league playing well. And I don't know if it's his attitude or whatever that they just sit him. But he's a 3-point dynamo. He was, I think, when he was playing for the Nuggets or something. Was it the Nuggets? I don't remember. But he's on the Clippers now, riding the bench. Okay. See if it comes of that. We'll probably go another 5 minutes, guys. Then I'll shut down for a few minutes and do about a 10-minute preview of the records I have for the auction. So, yes. Well, who's the guy? He started at George Mason, and then he transferred to, I forget, maybe an ACC team. And then he's kicking ass in the NBA right now. He didn't do great at George Mason. We played him, slapped him around. Yeah, UVA is a mess. The coach stepped down because the paying the players is not what he likes. It makes it difficult for him. Take care. What's up, Nathan? Dane, are you not a fan of Kawhi because he left the Raptors? Are you a Raptors guy? Are you a UVA guy, CJ? Because I grew up a Maryland fan. I grew up not far from the University of Maryland. So I was big Maryland dude. Well, VCU is the best university in the state of Virginia. UVA is like a private school. Terps. I grew up a Terps fan. Name another team that's fear the turtle, man. I went to Maryland for a second degree after I graduated from VCU and before I moved to California. So but I grew up rooting for Maryland. I'm a Maryland fan. I just wish they could get their football team. But when I was growing up, Maryland's football team was pretty good. I mean, remember Maryland had a succession, I think, of 4 quarterbacks that went to the NFL. There was Boomer Esiason, there was Scott Erickson. Who were the other guys? There were 4 quarterbacks. Frank Wright. There was, they put out quarterbacks that went to the NFL. It was crazy. Yes. Well, it's Canada, man. Kawhi's from LA, right? Came back home. Yeah. And then you broke everyone's heart and went away to Charlottesville. I mean, VCU is so not have anything really to do with UVA. Our rival's the University of Richmond. They're the stuck-up people. We're both in the same town, and we slap them around like they're elitist fools. All right, guys, I think I'm gonna bring everything to a close. I really appreciate everyone coming around and listening to me talk. But if you want to hang out, yeah, UVA and Tech. All my siblings went to Tech, so I root for Virginia Tech football. They need to get a good coach there because that's a good school and they support their team right. All right, so I'm gonna shut things down. In probably in about 5 minutes, I'll come back with a preview. I'll do it live of what have a selection, because I probably have 300 records ready for the auction, but I'll have a nice selection, things to draw you in, and I think things that people would like to try and pick up. Okay. Tech wins in the battle between the two schools, man. Don't feel sorry for me. And plus, they shot Dirty Dancing in Blacksburg. They didn't shoot anything in Charlottesville. Okay. CJ, you have a good evening and watch me on my preview. Okay, everybody, take care. Have a good evening. Thanks for coming by. Bye.